So I want you to listen to a few seconds from the latest Joe Rogan experience with Peter Thiel. Now, if you don't know who Peter Thiel is, he's a very important guy. They say that he bankrolled Vance's nomination for the vice president. He's very close to Elon Musk and all these tech bros, and there's quite a story there. But this video is not about that. This video is about how you and all of your friends and all your family and all these people believe a whole bunch of stories that you were given as kids that you've never questioned before. And I was sent here to help some of you to question what you think you know. We'll get to that. Let's take a look at this from Joe Rogan. Take a listen to this.
Lost in cataclysms, things can get lost in... They can get lost in disease and famine, and there's all sorts of war, all sorts of reasons. The burning of the Library of Alexandria, there's all sorts of ways that technology gets lost for it.
So he's saying that there's all kinds of reasons why technology gets lost. And he's talking about the pyramids in this particular context. Now, here's the thing, folks. When he mentions the Library of Alexandria, I'm sure most of you have heard of this. Ooh, there was this great Library of Alexandria, and it housed all of these books and scrolls and important information, but it burnt down and humanity was sent back. I'm sure you've heard the story. Now, here's the issue, folks. If you still believe that story, what it means is that you've never spent the time to read the documents that supposedly verify the story. Now, there's only one person who is autismo enough to spend his time hours and hours reading these documents, checking the references, and to see what's the evidence for this story. There's only one person who would do that. And it's your main man, John the Bond. So that's what I did. So as you can see on your screen here, this is a little pictorial that I put together where I tried to find out what is the evidence that there was ever a so-called Library of Alexandria. Because we assume, we imagine, oh, well, there must have been, and then different historians documented it, and then modern historians go to those documents, and blah, blah, blah. We just assume that someone has actually checked, we just assume there's someone making sure this is real. And I used to assume that until I checked the documents. So what I did was I wrote an article, a 2-piece article, called Burning the Library of Alexandria, Part 1 and Part 2. There's 2 parts. And then I went and spoke about this on the Higher Side Chats with Greg Carwood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link to this Higher Side Chats where I spoke about this. This is available for free from the Higher Side Chats podcast channel. And you can listen to me explain the research that I did that led me to the conclusion that this so-called Library of Alexandria is a complete hoax and a very obvious hoax. Why don't you do the research? But if you don't want to listen to that, then don't worry, because I've got this article. This is a 2-part article, 10,000 words in total, a lot of research, a lot of detail and evidence showing you, okay, here's their story about a library. Here's their story. Now, here is what they say is their evidence. Let's go and read the evidence. Then we go and read the evidence, and that evidence says, oh, we've got this other evidence. So we go and read that evidence, and we just follow this process to see where it leads. And where it leads to is Hoax Town, folks. This is a complete and utter load of nonsense, and this is what I spoke about on the High Side Chats. This is my pictorial that I put together. Now, if you're new to my channel, you must be thinking, oh, this is completely crazy. This guy, yeah, fine. Let me ask you a simple question, and don't get mad at me. This is a simple question. Have you gone to the reference list of a textbook or any history book about the Library of Alexandria and gone and tracked down those books to see what they said? The answer is no, you haven't. Now, don't get mad at me. Please don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you the truth here. If you were to take the time to look at the references for the stories and then go and read them and then read their references, you would eventually go to Eddie Gibbon, then to Haverback, then to Erosius, who, by the way, once you start going back to the references, they don't even mention a burning library. So people are referencing each other and saying, oh, this guy said this thing. No, he didn't. But no one's checking. I'm literally the only person checking this stuff. If you are hearing my words right now, You are in a small number of a few hundred people who are hearing the actual truth about history. Nobody else knows about this. Most people don't care about this. And you can check if what I'm saying is true by going and checking the sources. But you're not going to do that. Why? Because you're too busy, right? You're scrolling on your phone 5 hours a day, but you're too busy to check the references for our so-called history. You understand? So I'm the only person who's actually doing this. And what I found has shaken me to the depths of my miserable soul. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to link for you to my article, Burning the Library of Alexandria, Part 1. This is from members.johnlebon.com. I'll link to it right now. But if you're not a member of johnlebon.com, I got a free thing. This is completely free. These are the high side chats where I explain the process I went through. And I don't want you to come back to me and be mad at me. I've done nothing wrong to any of you people ever. All I've done is shown you the truth. That's all I'm ever going to do. And I show you my research. I show you the documents. I'm just trying to tell you what's actually happening. And nobody else is. All of you other truth tellers and podcasters, these people, if they're not talking about the history hoax, they're bullshit. And I'm going to expose each and every one of them. All of your sages and gurus, they're all nonsense, man. We are living in a fake reality with a fake history. That's very easy to prove, by the way, if you just read the goddamn books. Stop telling me you're too busy. You're not busy. You're too lazy. Don't lie to me. I've had enough of the lies. Enough of the lies. No more lies. No more lies for John LeBon. I don't deserve it. I didn't ask for it. I'm just telling you the truth. And the links are in the comment section below. Thank you very much.